Hi everyone, good afternoon. I thought today that I would speak about loving others as ourselves. It's a really difficult thing to do, and what does it entail? You know, there's an innate contradiction in loving someone. When you love them unconditionally, it means I love you exactly the way you are. But if you really love someone, you want the best for them, and then that very often means you want someone to change. So how to deal with that? The Torah tells us, love your fellow as yourself. Now, I think I've mentioned once before that the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe says the as yourself means you have to love yourself in order to be able to love someone else. You have to believe in yourself in order to be able to believe in others, and I think we get that primarily from our mothers. We have to believe that she's robust and can take care of us, but also to believe that she believes in us. And that enables us to love God and to feel loved by God, to love ourselves and then love others. But there is another piece to it that I wanted to mention today, and that is that when the Torah tells us love another as you love yourself, I think it's also saying in the same way that you love yourself. Love someone in the way you love yourself, which is what? Full of contradictions. I know I need to change. We all do. And yet we still love ourselves. I'm not talking about our insecurities, but we do love ourselves. I mean, even at the most basic level of if you put your hand on a hot plate, you're going to pull away. That's happening all the time in our lives. The Tzemach Tzedek, the third Chabad Rebbe, says that loving another has to do with retaining access. I mean, this is not his language, but the way I understand his discourse, retaining access to the whole of another person. We can love ourselves even though we know we have to change, because we are connected to all of our good qualities, even at the same time that we're connected to the negative ones. But each of us has like an ocean of self-love. Imagine it's going out from your neck, and your flaws are underneath that ocean. So you know they're there. It's like, you know, they're crabs and lobsters and everything else that is under the ocean, but you don't see it. It's there, but it's also not there. When you love another person, it has to be in that same illogical way. Like, there is this ocean of love. You can't dip your hand into someone else's inner being and then pull out their weaknesses and say, look at this, because at that time you are separating who that person is, the core goodness and the flaw. I mean, of course there are times where you have to point out where someone is flawed, but it's done with love, and that love is, I am able to retain access to every part of you. I hold the good with the bad, the light with the shadow. So just some thoughts for today. Love your fellow as yourself means you have to love yourself. You love them unconditionally, but want them to change. That's irrational. But that's the way we love ourselves, in this irrational kind of way, where we can hold the opposites together. And I think that does a lot for people when we can love them in exactly that way. Have a great day, everyone. See you next time.